All right, we've had a bit of time off in between drinks here for our NBL Supercoach side, and with the game on Friday, it's been basically 5 days since we've had to go through anything. And here's my results for last week and what we're potentially looking at, and some guys that you should look at heading into round 13 of NBL Supercoach. With 8 rounds to go, there's still plenty on the line, and personally for my team, it's on a little bit of a slide right now, but I do expect some improvement from here on in. And given I did select Darius Days last week on the single to be my starter, hoping he might pick up a 30 like he had the previous weeks, the 5 turnovers and under 20 minutes probably wasn't super ideal, but he was, I suppose, before those turnovers, he was actually playing pretty well and got quickly to a 10-8 scorecard there before the turnovers came, and then obviously you get punted to the bench when you do have 5 turnovers. But 745 I am overall, and shout out to the guys that are doing really, really well, because it is absolutely impressive. And we do look forward to round 13 with 6 teams on the double, which does give us now a very similar situation to BBL Supercoach, with basically every game we have matches being played. With the double on Friday, we have 1 game on Saturday, and then each and every day up until Wednesday, we have single games and then the double on Wednesday there, before getting straight into round 14 the following week. So you do look at a few extra teams coming into doubles this week. Obviously with Sydney there, we do have New Zealand, I think, to go through their last double for a week or two there. We do have the doubles for Brisbane. We don't for Cairns on this one. We do for Tassie. We do for Illawarra, and we do for Adelaide. So plenty of guys on the doubles and plenty of things we can do. Now, if you're looking to the forwards, just me saying Sydney Kings and me saying Adelaide, first guys that should come to mind are Montrezl Harrell and Xavier Cook. So both those guys, I think, are absolutely terrific picks this week, especially if you are moving on from a Jack White. I think you probably have to, given he did pick up a pretty low score and is likely to lose some more cash over the next couple of rounds with that, 14 or whatever it was, in his rolling average there. So not super ideal on that front, but we will be moving, obviously, KD, so Kendrick Davis is going to be going into my starting side there, which will be sweet. He'll be getting loaded up with the captaincy, which is kind of lovely. It's going to make our projected score look a lot better in itself. But if you're looking at our guards right now, Angus Glover had a very low second half, second game there with a -1. It was pretty tough. Keandre Cook, a really good first game into a low second game as well. Similar to that with Parker Jackson Cartwright, went lower in the first one into a higher and more improved second game, which was nice. Humphreys with Montrez back, his minutes do lower, and he's the worry now. Obviously, with a lot of doubles to come, 5 in a row, it does spell, obviously, some decent points, but how good is it going to be? Is it going to be an average of 15? Is it going to be an average of 20? He does average 19 with Montrez, and a lot higher with those last 3 games without Montrez being very, very good. You're looking at guys like Henschel. I think he's a really, really solid guy to own, even on the singles, just because you're going to get you're going to get that 21 average out of him most likely. He's even able to score a 28 when Cotton's going absolutely nuts, and we had a low score from Ulbrich as well, but he comes into a lot of doubles, and at his price point, I think he's an easy one to hold going forward. But as I said, you need to swing some dollars a few different ways, and one of those ways could be Xavier Cooks there. It's $375K. He is $52K cheaper than that of Montrez, so if bringing in Cooks this week allows you to make a different move with your second trade, if you do have a bit of cash in the bank, and maybe you can get a second good starter, then that could be the play. And personally, I don't think it's going to work out as well for myself, given that the guys I could trade out, it is Humphreys, to be honest with you. And if I haven't looked into it too much yet, I was pretty set on getting Montrez, but I think that Xavier Cooks is a pretty important player. You could score just as well as Montrez this week, or even better at times. They do have the same average, but if White went to Xavier Cooks for me and then Humphreys went down to someone, I would have about 270 to play with, which doesn't get me to like a Sam Froling. It doesn't get me to some of these other good double game guys, but I'll have to have a look into that a little bit further. But personally, I do have Darius Days, who I can hopefully trust. I don't feel like it right now that he's right in the trust wagon for me, but I will have to have a look into that further. But Darius Days is someone that you could slot in at 240, we are looking at some guys like Mason Peatling, who came out and picked up an 18 in that game on the weekend, 142k for him, just in the forward slot though. So it would be, selling a Glover or a Henschel or something like that to get him in. Someone like Nick Marshall, I think, should go well for a little bit, but he will be, Adelaide will be getting some troops back, which is going to make it a little bit hard for him to do really well for your sides there. And then you're looking up a bit further. I think Tanner Groves longer term is going to be a good play, but they do have a couple of singles in a row at 237. And when you're looking for a starter in that second forward slot, that does make it a little bit difficult. But that's where obviously guys like Casey Prather up at 339 now is absolutely crazy. We may see Josh Bannon back this week. You'd hope for Brisbane's sake that they can get him back and for him to play pretty well. But the ultimate kind of goal over this week would be for Xavier Cooks and for Montrez, but Kendrick Davis is number one priority down the guard slot. So yeah, you're looking at the forwards and there's not a lot there. That's where I was like, I'll just go for Darius Days last week and get ourselves into a good spot with a double game guy at least in that position there. Whereas, Hurd had the double game last week, so did Wardenberg, didn't play it anyway, but so did Cairns, I should say. Casey Prather would be the most ideal guy to partner with him, but if you don't own him, then it does get a little bit tough. And, Cam Oliver got a 3 last week. You can't pick like a Dylan Windler. You can't pick a Rob Lowe. So, yeah, it does become a little bit tough unless going for a cheaper guy. But, yeah, if you can, it might be Darius Days, to be honest. In the center position, what you might want to be looking at in that slot is not much either, to be honest with you. Will Magnay at 337. If you can get yourself to him or Sam Froling, they are the plays this week in the center position. Not much else to really talk about. You've got Taco Fall in there, had a much better double game there with 46 points, but that is all in that slot that you want to be getting too excited about, to be fair, unless you're just holding an Al Munza on that one. Geordie Hunt had a solid little hit out last week. You wouldn't go for Pinder. Tara Harrison, you obviously want to have. Most people do at this point. But Humphreys, it could be held, likely to be held by myself at this point, just because I don't have the available cash in the bank. But yeah, I think Sam Froling is a really fun one at 280 odd if you can get to him in that forward or center spot in that second position. That's where you want to be looking on that one. And then in the guard slot, Kendrick Davis needs to be a man in your side. If you have to get to him from like a Parker Jackson Cartwright, if that's the only option or a Keandre Cook, that's completely fine. But if you can get there another way, that would be awesome. So Kendrick needs to come in. He's already in my side. But if you're looking at other options there, Jalen Adams is in absolutely tremendous form. He's up to a 371 number there after hitting he's got a 3-round average of 51, which is pretty wild there with the random, I think, one double in there to average 51 is pretty impressive. And yeah, the guard position is just littered with talent at the moment. You've got 4 guys averaging 33.9 or above, with Kendrick at 42.6 and Cotton at just under 39 after that tremendously terrible start. So some guys there to look out for sure. Taran's starting to get into his work, but has no doubles. Prather you can easily hold, as I said. Guys like Shea Lee are really improving and up over 300k now. So and good to see Rob Edwards back and doing some good work there as well. So guys like James Bateman could easily be held at 259 now, could also be sold. And if you can get them to, Sam Froling or something like that, that would be a really, really cool play. And Derek Walton Jr., if you needed a cheap guard, so just Peatling up top in the forward slot, I think is the safest pick. And then at 192, Derek Walton Jr., if you need to free up some cash in the guard slot, Derek Walton Jr. should be the play on that front. I would even go Glover to him at this point. It's 60k, and that is plenty and enough to help you get up to certain guys, whether it was White to Montrez, could be that guy for you. And Foxwell, a 2-game 37, brings him a bit more back to the pack at that 187 price point now. So not too much to go off with that one there. And Isaiah White, little 21 across the double for him, helping out his break even anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much where you're at. It's guys like Sam Froling you want to target. Kendrick Davis is the big guy. Montrez or Xavier Cooks. You're looking to get the good scorers on the park and make this as easy as possible for you out there. In terms of our leagues, just wanted to go through a couple of the JBFA crews as well while we're here. So shout out to Loz's Soldiers and Kirk Penny with David and Jared doing well in that one. In number 2, we've got John and Sam ahead of me in 3rd. And then I'm first in that one with Corey and Jackie doing really well in that one there. And we do need to look at the Podmasters overall. So I'm 10th at a 29. Still not incredible, but some great improvements from Mark into 48 there. Has a chance of winning this thing. Kane, Dr. Kando there, 56 spots he went up into 102nd. Matt's at 138. Cameron's at 149. So you got 4 guys in the top 200, followed by Matrix, Matty Boy at 260 and 280 for Troy. So yeah, there's a few guys I need to catch up on. Obviously, push myself back a little bit, but I'm 42 points away from just outside that top 500, and a good 90 points now from 90 points. Yeah, we'll go 80 points from halving my rank. So it's not crazy. It's a couple of really good weeks, but I've been sliding a little bit in recent history, and hopefully we can get back from here. So that's the NBL Supercoach video for this week. I wish you guys all the best of luck. I think I'll be going personally for Peatling and for Montrezl Harrell. Just deciding, I think it's probably Angus Glover with that low, or with that high break even after that -1 that I'll be trading out this week, and probably keeping Hump to get that double score. There you go, guys. Have a good one.